Hey, what is up guys, I'm Neville, and today I'm going to be talking about, are the Houston Rockets better than the Golden State Warriors? Now, a lot of y'all probably know Golden State is definitely better, but they're not better by a lot, and I actually don't think, I think it's pretty even, but I'm going to get into why I think it's even and all that, and the only reason we're even making the video is because Clint Capella decided to be big balls, man, and be like, we're better than the Golden State Warriors. That's exactly what he said, and obviously you need confidence, and that's what he obviously has if he thinks he can beat the Warriors. And I do think they could beat them in a 7-game series. So without further ado, without me rambling on too much, let's get right into the video. So the first thing I'm going to get into is the matchups of this thing, and what the matchups would look like would be Chris Paul versus Steph Curry. And Steph Curry is definitely a better shooter and dribbler than Chris Paul, but Chris Paul is a much better defender and passer and is way more experienced than Steph Curry, and he has more playoff experience than him. He's just an overall more experienced player and more seasoned, and he's definitely one of the best to ever live. So yeah, and it's a very close matchup. These two players are extremely talented in their own ways. Chris Paul can defend Curry to where he won't go off for 40 every game. Curry can shoot enough to where Chris Paul's defense won't absolutely shut him down. He can dribble to get away from Chris Paul a little bit, but also Chris Paul has such good court vision that he can get his teammates involved better than Curry can. So it's an extremely close thing, but only because Steph Curry is younger and faster, and he can just shoot, and if he gets hot, no matter what defense you have, he's hot and he won't miss. I think it has to go to Steph Curry by like an inch, not even by a lot, maybe a centimeter. He's not close. I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Paul wins that matchup if they do face off in a series. Now the next matchup would be shooting guards, and the shooting guard matchup would be James Harden against Klay Thompson. Obviously two extremely good shooters, and when they're hot, they are hot. They don't miss. They're absolutely cold-blooded. But James Harden has more range. He can dribble better, and he has a chance to completely take over a game. Klay Thompson does not have that ability just to completely take over a game. But James Harden, we've seen it before. He's an MVP candidate, and there's a reason why. The dude can single-handedly win a game, and I just don't think Klay Thompson can do that just with his talent level not being as good. And I just think James Harden is, no one will doubt it, he's just a better overall player, and that goes to James Harden by a little bit, by probably a foot if I'm measuring this. I don't know why I keep putting measurements out there, but I do think it goes to James Harden by quite a bit. I don't think anyone can really dispute that. But then small forwards, this is probably the most lopsided matchup. Maybe power forwards, it depends. It's just Durant versus Trevor Ariza. Trevor Ariza is a good veteran who has a nice three-point shot, and he kind of plays good defense. But Durant, let's be honest, Durant is one of the best players in the NBA. He's the second best small forward in the NBA, and he's going to go down in the Hall of Fame no matter what. This dude's an absolute GOAT, and probably without him, the Warriors would not be finals. At least would not win the finals, in my opinion. I do not think without Kevin Durant they would be winning the finals. So I think this one doesn't need much talking about. I think Trevor Ariza gets blown out. Durant obviously wins this. Do I think Ariza will get completely walked over? No, he's a good veteran. He knows how to play defense, but Durant's just better, and he's going to go off. Durant's going to go off a little bit. He's going to have a spurt. Then power forward would be Ryan Anderson versus Draymond Green. Well, this one is pretty lopsided, but also not lopsided. It's weird. Alright, so Ryan Anderson has a great three-point shot, and he's a decent rebounder, being as tall as he is for the power forward position. And also, he has decent defense. When he played for the Pelicans, he did not play bad. He did kind of guard Draymond Green pretty well, but that was 2 years ago. Draymond Green has gotten better, but so has Ryan Anderson. But I do think Draymond Green is a much better player, as he's great on defense. He won Defensive Player of the Year last year, so he's obviously a great defender, but he's also a great rebounder, and the dude hustles more than Ryan Anderson. Therefore, all those points pretty much go to Draymond Green. So now that makes it go to 3-1 for the Golden State Warriors. But then you go to center, something the Warriors really lack. They have Zaza Pachulia versus Clint Capella. Capella is having a huge breakout year this year, and he's playing like a top 15 center in the league this year, and he is bringing great defense in the paint, and he's being a great rebounder. And Zaza is a below average center. He's not good. He's just not. You can't compare him to Clint Capella right now. Clint Capella's on a very good hot streak, and well, Zaza is not. He only gets points and rebounds and stuff because he plays on the Warriors. If he was on any other team, he would not start or play. He's about an Omer Asik type player. If you don't know who that is, well, that's the reason why. And also, so I think no matter what, this point does go to the Houston Rockets. And now my last matchup, I might be like, there's not a 6, but wait, there's a bench. They do have a bench, and the Warriors bench has to get that point. They have pretty much a solid backup in every single position on the court. You cannot dispute that, and I do think that the Golden State Warriors have a much better bench than the Houston Rockets, so I think that point goes to them too. But now that we got all the matchups out of the way, let's go into the offense. Now, the offense for both teams, some of y'all might be like, no matter what, no doubt, Golden State, he goes to Golden State no matter what. Well, Golden State, they do have the #1 ranked offense in points per game, as they average 115.8 points per game, but Houston is right next to him, ranked #2. They average 115.4 points per game, so they're one of the only offenses in the entire league that can even keep up with Golden State, and they can easily keep up with Golden State. They will not be outscored unless they just have a bad shooting night, or like they get clamped up, which I don't see happening. I think it would be a very high scoring competition, but I also don't. But like, it's weird, but I don't think the Warriors, like they do some teams, the Warriors just completely over offense. Like they play no defense sometimes, but the offense is so good, it's just overpowering and you can't compete. And then also you go into defenses. Alright, so Golden State, they're ranked 7th in defense. One of the most underrated parts of Golden State's game, and the reason they're so good is because they play defense and have great offense. But Houston is not far behind, as they are ranked 12th. And I mean, yes, their defense is a little bit better, so that might cause a little bit of problems for Houston. But I mean, 12th best defense in the league is not bad, and they definitely won't be just getting walked over by the Warriors' high-powered offense, and that's for sure. They have really good defense players: Clint Capella, Trevor Ariza, Chris Paul, James Harden's getting better, Ryan Anderson, Eric Gordon's pretty good off the bench. I mean, there's just players off the bench and on the offense that can keep up and guard their players. And also, they won't have to worry about the Splash Bros. They will be a factor, obviously, but they won't have to really worry about them. I think what they really have to worry about is Kevin Durant and come out with a game plan to stop him. And if they can stop Durant, they have a chance to win this series, because look, Chris Paul's not going to let Steph Curry just completely destroy him. That's not going to happen. James Harden isn't going to let Klay Thompson completely destroy him. That's not going to happen. Draymond Green isn't much on offense, so it's not like he's that great a player, and he's not guarding one of their best players, so it's not like Ryan Anderson, with him being out of the game sometimes, like being clamped up, he's not going to lose that for Houston. I mean, he would help, but he's not going to lose the game if he's out. And then also, I mean, Clint Capella would be abusing Zaza, so the only matchup I think they really have to worry about is Kevin Durant. If Kevin Durant takes over the series, it's bad times for Houston. But if they can find a way to stop Kevin Durant, which is harder said than done, which is easier said than done, well, then you have a chance to win this series. And also, the Rockets have one of the best point guards in the world. Let's be honest. One of the best to ever live. He's a future Hall of Famer, first ballot. I don't care what you say. My opinion, the second best point guard in the entire league for his age, how good he passes, how fast he is, how good he shoots, how good he can drive. He's just a beast. And him and James Harden are so good together. And then also, I mean, the reason Clint Capella is emerging as a young star this year is because you have someone like Chris Paul to pass you the ball when you're open. He's just becoming extremely good. So I do think this matchup will be extremely close. I want to know what y'all think. Do y'all think it will be close or not? Because I can't wait. I hope the series does happen. I really want to see it. Or the other series I would want to see is probably Oklahoma City against Golden State. That would be. There's 3 series combinations. That would be utterly amazing, I would think. So yeah. So comment below. Do you want to see the series? Who do you think would win out of the series? Do you think Chris Paul or Steph Curry is better? Tell me if you think you got the matchups right or not. Comment all that below. And also, if you did like the video, hit the like button. It would mean the world to me. And also, if you really like the video, want to help me out a ton, y'all been killing it lately. 136 subscribers. I love y'all so much for that. Thank y'all just so much. So hit the subscribe button if you really want to and you really like the video. And kids, don't think about you either. Man, never do vegetables. Always eat drugs. They say, about goodbye.